All right. Hey, everyone. Good to see you for today's session. The topic is what senior leaders are looking for in regards to AI skills, and also what employers and hiring managers are looking for. So let's jump right in. Okay, the agenda today. I'll give a quick bio about myself. I'll give you a glimpse of what we are hearing and seeing senior leaders talking and saying about AI. I'll walk through some valuable skills for you to work on and develop now. I'll also cover how you can use AI to leapfrog in your career. I'll give a quick demo and some custom GPTs that we've built for our business. And then number six is a little test, which I think would be good for everyone here to try. And then we'll do Q&A, which is my favorite part. All right, let's rock and roll. My name is Jason. I graduated from USC in 2010. I was pre-law and media communications. I graduated from Annenberg. I did 7 internships in high school and college because I had no idea what I wanted to do. So my solution was to figure it out firsthand, experience it, and identify what I was both good at and what I like to do. Even though I was planning to become a lawyer, I did not become a lawyer, as you can probably tell from this slide. Instead, I went into digital media marketing and advertising. I got my first job at University of McCann, which is part of Interpublic Group, publicly traded company. Started as a assistant media planner, managing 0 people, and within about 7 years, went up to vice president, managing a big org, a large P&L, 40 plus people, hundreds of millions of dollars of marketing budget, and led a lot of upfront negotiations with key partners, etc. And I also served as a advisory board member for a nonprofit during that time. Then I moved to Amazon because one of my mentors moved there, and I was on the business development team for the marketplace, and then transitioned into a voice of seller role. I thought I was going to stay at Amazon until the end of my career because I really liked it, the operational excellence, the hard puzzles and problems to solve, the bar raising people, and the culture and principles. But then I decided to do something crazy and took a cliff jump and joined the founding team of a startup. We raised $8 million seed on nothing but a PowerPoint deck, and it was a crazy roller coaster ride. So I have both the big company and the pre-product startup experience. And then after that, now I'm the co-founder and COO of Level Up, which is a platform that helps people make career breakthroughs. And we do so through our courses, community, content, etc. Throughout this time, I also serve as a mentor at Techstars and First Round Capital. I like to stay close to founders and entrepreneurs. They're close to my heart. And I also serve on the advisory council for Harvard Business Review. Okay, enough about me. Section one, the mind of the senior leader. Okay, here's what we're hearing. And when I say we, it's mostly myself and Ethan, who's my business partner. He's a retired Amazon vice president. Uh, the big the big sentence is drive efficiency with AI. And there's really 2 types of approaches we're seeing senior leaders take. The most common and the ones that you hear about a lot in the headlines is downsize the org, downsize the team, and get lean. Make up the gains through AI. Conversely, and interestingly, we are also seeing some leaders proactively grow headcount because they're seeing AI efficiency gains. So the mental model is, well, instead of hiring 7, what if we grew the team to 15 plus? What would we expect the output to be in this case? Because everyone would use AI, turbo boost the gains, etc. But largely, the de facto motto right now is the new substitute for headcount growth is AI driven impact. Regardless of whether you're downsizing or growing, you have to show AI driven impact right now. Okay, here's the tough part. Human adoption of AI and any technology is really hard. So, one of the main leadership challenges is useful AI adoption, not silly metrics that people are just simply using it or that they've increased their subscription rate to whatever latest AI tool. No, it's useful adoption. Um, Other challenges is how do you change the culture and process operations, standard operating procedures of your company, your team on a large scale to be AI first or AI native. Very hard change. At the same time that number one and two is going on, your employees are fearful of both news of downsizing, news of layoffs, potential layoffs, and also learning a new technology, right? That is it's interesting because AI is very easy to adopt and to kickstart, but there's also different layers of it, right? On what you can build, the types of tools, etc. So all this 3 points is making it hard for leaders. Okay. On the topic of metrics, this is what a lot of senior leaders are looking at. So AI-driven impact, specific use cases that lead to either increase in revenue, increased in efficiency gains, that could be time saved, revenue saved, or increase in productivity, right? Other ones are quality of improvement and usage frequency. You want to see like a week over week, month over month increase. And the key to all of this is proxying and benchmarking the before and after impact. And usually, impact is driven on three main metrics: business growth, so revenue, profits, etc., efficiency gains, time saved, money saved, or the third bucket, which is more ambiguous, but it's uh, enhanced or improved customer experience. Because the mental model is that downstream that will impact the other two metrics of increased business or efficiency gains, right? Happy customers, good business. So those are some of the metrics. Uh, Other things that are interesting that we're seeing is senior leaders, C-level executives, they're exploring what new team and org level models look like. So here's one example. Um, how do you delineate between fast and slow thinking teams? So in this case, one of these leaders, they separated two groups. The fast thinking group, which is the AI native, AI platform driven team, they're shipping capabilities weekly, new features, new products, very fast with AI. And for their enterprise business in this example, it's driving the top of funnel, which drives new use cases, new users, right? Whereas then they also have the slow thinking team, which this is heavy infrastructure bets, deeper planning, and what this does is if the fast thinking group is shipping new things fast, quickly, and is bringing more users, more PR, more marketing, more press, and the users are coming down the funnel, users, customers, etc., then the slow thinking group is thinking, okay, how do we expand what these new users are adopting within our tools, right? For example, are they starting with a free model or free tool, and then we can quickly turn them into paid users, right? Or did they buy one part of our offering, let's call it a payment services, right? And they have a good experience there, then can this infrastructure enterprise team upsell them to broaden into accounting or P&L management or HR, things like that, right? So this is a new and interesting model. And I think it's smart because one thing when it comes to leading teams is you want the vision of that team and their roles and responsibilities to be very clear. If you ask a single person or team to do both of these, it's almost a surefire way that they'll fail because it's too much to be both fast thinking and slow thinking. So it's better to delineate and also let your high performers choose which one fits them better and their personal goals, etc. So that's an example. Okay, valuable skills for you. I have a friend. His name's Justin Best. He is an investment banker, but he's also a Olympic gold medalist for men's rowing. He won it in the Paris Olympics. He is a beast, and I love this quote from him. He says, "You think you deserve success because of all the hard work you've done, but the universe does not care about deserve. You have to earn it, and you have to drive it, and you have to prove it, right?" So it's very, I love it because it ties so much to AI because you have all the tools at your disposal, but just because you're using it doesn't mean you deserve any accomplishment. It's what are you shipping? What are you building? What are you growing? Okay, here's what will not change, whether you're an AI or not AI or post AI, pre AI, whatever, is being someone who's high agency. And what this means is being relentlessly resourceful, a lot of self-learning, YouTube courses, podcasts, newsletters, books, etc. Taking extreme ownership and accountability for your career and what you learn. Bias for action. So acting without people's permission, not waiting for that, and then driving and delivering results, particularly during times or situations of ambiguity where someone's not telling you this is the blueprint and path to follow. One, two, three, success. That's not happening. Business is moving too fast and there's too much ambiguity, and technology is moving too quick. So if you want a one sentence frame on this, it's think and act like a small business owner, right? Think about all the small business owners who own a grocery store, a restaurant, hard businesses, tough margin businesses. And if something happens, you have to get in and figure out what to do, being resourceful. You're the owner. No one else is going to save you. Ambiguous situations, etc. A quick story because it just came to my mind. My friend told me this is at one of the FANG companies that one of the main interviewer questions on the growth team, I believe, was they asked if you own a grocery store, and you wake up at 5 a.m. with a frantic phone call from one of your associates that says the refrigerator broke. What is your immediate next step? Here's what a lot of people say, and this is the answer they are not looking for. Some people say, "Oh, let me call this person. Let me call my general manager. Let me call my assistant. Let me see what's broken. Let me see how much food we have. Blah blah blah." All this list of things. The answer they're looking for is simple. My first action is I get up, I get dressed, and I drive to the grocery store and I figure out why this refrigerator is broken and I fix it. It's getting your hands in the dirt, right? So that's high agency. Okay, let's move on. Okay, agency. That is and was table stakes. AI changes things a bit. What AI changes in a big way is you have to prove it now with clear results. Back then, doing this would make you stand out for most of the people. Now it still will make you stand out. It's just that more people are doing it because it's so easy to build and ship with AI. So this has almost become the new bar, right? So prove your knowledge, your expertise, the skills you're building, how you're using AI with results. And what that means is build, ship it in public, and then grow it, grow adoption, grow usage, grow customers, and then learn how to sell, right? There's also different skills between growing something that's free versus growing something that's paid, or adopting a free product and then converting users or customers into paid users, right? The other part of this too is knowledge share. When you find something interesting, um, share it, scale it. Because when you build in public and you knowledge share, this is how you develop your reputation as someone who's credible, someone who's an expert in this field, right? And then, an interesting mental model here is this is also how you increase your surface luck area or your luck surface area, right? The more you build and ship out there in public and you grow and you're selling and you're knowledge sharing, the more that others may reach out to you. Hey, I'm also building this. Here's some of what I've learned. Or, hey, I have a newsletter that features young entrepreneurs building an AI. Can I feature you? I have these three questions. Or I have a podcast. Can you come on? Right? Or, hey, we are a VC accelerator or a tech accelerator, and we are seeking speakers and panel members to talk about how they're building with the latest AI tools. Things like that. The more you put out in the world, the higher your chance of luck reverberating back. Okay. Also, other valuable skills for you. Soft skills, I believe, will be the new hard skills. And soft skills in this case being or meaning presence, presence virtually, presence in person, showing you have judgment, and judgment is largely built through experiences. That's why building and shipping is so important because you don't know what the latest dashboard or internal tool looks like or what it's like to sell to someone until you've actually done it, right? There's a big difference between reading about it in a textbook and hearing theory about it versus going out into the world and experiencing it firsthand. That's what you want. That's how you build judgment. And judgment is what separates people who make rapid career growth and attain leadership positions. Because the higher you go, the more difficult, the more ambiguous the puzzles, the challenges. So judgment is a big part. Also, clarity, being very clear on your communication, what you're building, your goals, your intentionality, your strategy, the tactics, how you pivot, how you decide to optimize, and then also being a very positive sum team player, right? Um, because even though you might be a solo entrepreneur, one person company building an AI, it always helps to have champions and stakeholders who are your supporters. They could be peers, they could be external partners, vendors, they could be press, it could be the media. So be that person who shares and rises with all boats, right? So soft skills, don't underestimate it. Okay, here's some ways that you can use AI to leapfrog your career. Remember everything we talked about that the mind of the senior leaders are thinking? Well, this is your opportunity because it's a big learning gap. Senior leaders are seeking AI domain experts because everyone knows that AI is important. Some leaders say it's more important than the internet. And we all know how important the internet is. This talk wouldn't exist without it. So, can you be one of those AI domain experts? What this means is proving that you know the tech, having a clear point of view about where it's going, what you're building, scaling your knowledge, and teaching others. Um, I write here as a note to myself to share an example of my friend in big tech. I have a friend in big tech, one of the FANG companies, one of the Mag 7s, and this person was in a non-technical org. And this was about 2.5 years ago. So right when like ChatGPT was starting to explode, this person became an AI domain expert. They built things in AI, they shipped things in AI, they started to host internal lunch and learns to teach other teams. This person just kept doing this month over month. They shared in Slack best practices, they would answer people's questions about AI. Pretty soon, when people had questions about AI, what tools to use, how do we use it, what are good metrics to look for, they always asked this person. And what happened was at the executive level, the VPs at this FANG company, they started to say, hey, this meeting is about AI, or this meeting needs to be about AI. Bring this person into this meeting. Invite this person so we can get their AI point of view, right? So that was powerful. So immediately, this person got executive level visibility. Um, the so this person became an AI expert and a leapfrogged in their career. Okay. Uh, it also becomes a networking powerhouse because it could either be your main work or it could be your side project. And I have another example. So I have another friend also in Fang, one of these big companies, but different companies. So these two people are different companies. Anyways, this person led one of the non-technical functions at this company. So they had a team, etc. At the same time, they had a very high passion for a specific sport. I'm not going to name the sport because this person is not too public about it, but I'll give you enough so you get the gist. This person built a website about a very specific tool or instrument used in this sport that only someone who is really passionate about this sport would understand. I had a friend who just became the president of one of the sport leagues. And I said, hey, I have this other friend and they built this website. I don't know much about this sport, but this website looks pretty cool. They're driving pretty good revenue and traffic, and they found some sort of hack. And the moment I sent the link, I sent an email that said, "Do you want to connect with this person?" I said, "This is the person, this is the team that this person leads, the company they work at. They're very smart. Here's a link." And the person replied within 3 minutes and said, "Oh, damn. If this person built that site on this product or instrument, I know they're serious about it. Yes, please connect us immediately." So I connected the two of them, advisor role, connection, all the networking. So that's how that happened. And this person was non-technical. They built it using non-technical AI tools. So that wasn't a roadblock for them. Okay. Other things we're seeing. IC stands for individual contributor. So when you do not manage someone. So there's a lot of talk about the traditional path in a career was you start off in an IC role, you work your way up, you get into first line manager, then you get into managing managers, then you become a director where you manage senior managers and become executive, right? So it's a manager track. This is changing in a big way, in which the IC builder track is becoming more popular because these companies want to lean out middle management and focus more on the builders who are close to the product and close to the customer. So, what I wrote here, the AI superpowered IC is a very real thing. I have friends and I have other mentees and people that I know well who have leapfrogged their career, promotions, double promotions, comp increases of over 100%. Someone, what was it, 3 months ago, emailed us and said, I got a 300% comp increase because this person went to a different company that they were poached by because they were an AI expert. So, and why is it called AI superpowered IC? Because you were a strong IC before, but with AI tools, you're basically a 10xer in terms of your output. You can move faster, you can build faster, and you can ship faster. And once you do all that, you can get customer feedback faster, then you can optimize and iterate the product faster, and you just keep shipping, right? Uh, the other things that these superpowered ICs are doing is they're learning how to manage AI agents, not necessarily humans, but AI agents to do the work for them. The other thing here, and this is a conversation I have a lot with my close friends, is point three. I'm noticing a lot of top builders, product leaders, program managers, ops, marketing, design, etc. They're specifically targeting founder-led or builder CEO-led companies that have very clear AI stakes in the ground. The CEOs or founders who have come out publicly and said, we are an AI native company. We're going to track performance reviews and promotions by these AI metrics. And if you cannot build and develop and ship a product using these AI tools, this is not the right company for you. The important part here is it's very clear so people can self-filter. Is it for me or is it not for me? And these companies are moving lightning fast. Okay. Custom GPTs. Okay, I'm going to do a live demo right now. Let me stop my screen share so I can set up the other ones. Let me move these two. So this will be a very quick live demo. Let me screen share again. Okay. Okay, so on my screen, so we've built two custom GPTs based off of my business partner. That's him. You'll see his name, Ethan Evans. He's an executive coach. He has too many people asking him for executive coaching that he can handle or his schedule can handle. So we built 24 on demand free executive coaching. So you could this one's built on ChatGPT, so OpenAI, and you could ask it any questions. So let's just pick one of these uh, pre ones. How can I advance an executive role? And it has over 500,000 words in a humongous Google Doc. It has a couple hundred hours of video content, and then it has extra material from his executive coaching. So that's what powers the results. So you'll see here his style is called the straight truth. So that's where we kind of like prompted the AI to lead with that. It's very easy to digest. You also ask it to leave with like bottom lines, and then this last part for executive coaching. So this tool is free. I believe you can get it with a free version of ChatGPT, but it's just Ethan Evans AI, free executive coaching. Well, let's see. Give me more details about getting a first full-time job. Let's see what it says. So you can just go. We have many executive friends, directors, VPs who tell us that they use this before every important stakeholder meeting, or they use it to help refine their emails. So those are very basic ones, right? So again, you'll see here the coaching, blah blah blah, some questions to prompt you. We built another one on a different platform because this one has a call feature and it's based off of Ethan's real voice. through voice prompts and YouTube recordings, etc. So this is just another style. So let's just say, let's use one. What? Let's do one that's relevant. Let's see. Well, let's try this. What are common mistakes leaders make managing up? And he's very candid and direct in response, so you'll see a lot of that in here. Okay, so similar. So a list, then questions, etc. Okay, so I'll stop that. Let me pull up the deck again. Let me move these because I have a little bit more in the PowerPoints before we get to Q&A. Okay. Custom GPT is live demo. You can play around with it. I will send the links to USC so they can share it out with you. Okay. Try this. This one's important. Okay. This is what I want you to try. I haven't tried this yet, but I've heard this works well. I want you to create a startup from scratch to launch in 4 days. You decide whatever tools you want to use. You decide whatever startup you want it to be. It could be a mobile app, it could be a video game, it could be a newsletter, etc. Whatever. Just test this out. See, these are some of the tools I've heard people use. Claude Code, Google Anti-Gravity. That's more on the coding side, but I don't think you need to be a hardcore coder to use that. And then also ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini to help you with the business plan and steps and shipping it out. The key is to just do it. See how far you can get and to time box yourself 4 days. See what you can do with that. Feel free to connect with me. That's my LinkedIn. We have our Level Up newsletter to get career advice. But just find me on LinkedIn, Jason Young. I don't think there's too many of me, especially if you put USC in it as well. Okay, thanks. That is it. So let's get to Q&A. I'm going to stop the screen share so I can see you all. And then if anyone has a question, raise your virtual Zoom hand or just type it in chat. The first one. Okay, Trent, come off mute and tell us your question.
Hello, thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. My first question for you is when you talk about the importance of like proving that you know tech, what would you say are the best ways to sort of begin uh, that journey and like the most foundational and concrete things to help you take those next steps?
Are you starting from scratch with AI?
I mean, I have ChatGPT, but that's sort of the extent of what I know.
Okay. The first step I would do is go to YouTube and just look up some of these self-tutorial videos on how to get started with AI. There are some good resources and people to follow. I'll type them in chat. One is Claire Vo. She's a CPO and she has a YouTube channel called How I AI. It's very good. It's basically the AI channels that you want to focus on are ones that do live demo instructions. If they don't do that, then it's probably a bad signal. So that's one. Another good one, his name is Peter Yang. He writes about all AI now. So he has a newsletter and podcast. And the nice thing about this is all free on YouTube. Um, Let me think. Who else is really good on it? If you just start with those two, there'll be more than enough. And just pick the videos that are relevant to you because some of them are definitely more advanced. So start with the tutorials on just how to get started. And okay, so that's step one. Step two is I would ask just really spend 45 minutes, put it on your calendar, and just ask ChatGPT. Like, hey, I'm starting from at this level. What do you recommend? Give me the play-by-play steps that I should follow. And then here's the key with all these AI chat interfaces. To help refine and sharpen your prompt, always end it with saying, feel free to ask me questions if you to help you get more clarity or to refine your answers to me. It always makes it stronger. So that's where I would start. Once you get
Awesome. Thank you
there,
so much.
no problem. Then just start shipping. Pick something that you're interested in. that you feel like you would want to grow and just put it out in the world. The key
Great.
right now at this level is to just build muscle memory and turn it into a habit for you. Yeah. And then, I mean, look, the first two products that you ship with AI, they're most likely not going to be whatever you do for the rest of your life, right? Or they might be the ones that make you $1 million or more, but they might not be. But down the line is where it's going to happen. So do that.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Well, you said that was your first question. Did you have another question?
Or I mean, my first question, like the first question for everyone.
Ah, okay, good, 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 good. Let's see. The slides will be shared. I will share the link to USC and they could share it out. Um, you could also just connect with me on LinkedIn. Also, if you want, you could email me. Some students from the other class emailed me. They're saying, "Can I get the slides quickly?" So I was like, "Yeah, here's the slides." Um, okay, good. Yeah. So there you go. USC launched a ChatGPT EDU. Use that as well. Oh, I also believe OpenAI has a bunch of free courses on how to get started with AI. So just use that. At this stage, just use the free tools because there's more than enough out there. Um, let's see. Anything else? Any other questions about AI?
I have another question if no one else
Go
has
for
one.
it.
So I know that like there's been a lot of talk in the news recently about like the environmental effects of AI and the water usage components of it. So what do you see down the road in terms of companies' policies environmentally with AI usage? And do you think there's just going to be like they're kind of going to ignore the environmental effects, or how do you see that looking in the future?
Yeah, so two responses to this. So I don't pay much attention on that side to it. Um, so I don't have a clear answer what's happening there or what are the effects. I imagine there's going to be some negative effects to it, as with any new technology that takes up resources. So I can see that happening. To your second question, what I think AI companies are going to do is they are probably aware of it, but right now it is a land grab. So what is really, think about it, all these companies are raising so much money. And right now, speed and getting customers is the name of the game. It is probably what is going to determine whether your AI company is still alive next year or 2 years from now. So they're moving as fast as they can, and they have their set priority list. Business impact, business impact, business impact. Because the thought is, look, our P0, priority zero, is staying alive and growing. Once we get to a place where we can have the bandwidth to then focus on all this other, which is important stuff, but survival is more important at this stage, then we can do that. So that's what most companies will tackle because it's too much to do simultaneously, right? Because you probably have to hire experts. There's probably a lot of you have to pull in a lot of lawmakers and policy decision makers, other experts. Those are all time and people that is not spent building and selling the product. Which I mean, the thing about AI right now is what's so interesting is we're seeing the big companies invest a lot, capital expenditures, people, headcount, etc. But at the same time, because they're seeing all these upstarts and smaller companies trying to own these small pockets and niches and use cases and industries to then, one day circumvent and become the next big company. So we're seeing both sides play out at the same time. So it's exciting, but that's my long-winded answer to your question. Yeah, important though. Now, okay, actually, this brings up another thought. AI regulation, AI safety, AI ethics, AI environmental concerns, all that stuff is super important. And sooner or later, all of these companies will need to play a role in it. That will come in the future, and when they do, they most likely need outside help. So what that means is there's probably a really big opportunity for someone to build a niche company that specializes in that, right? Um, there's when you think about a business and when you sell to enterprises or to customers, etc., there's a lot of these regulations and rules that you want to stay compliant with, right? And that's where you get teams who do due diligence, review the legalities, review the structures, and all those things. Um, and usually you see a lot of great startups that have come up that just service that. And basically, their marketing message is, look, you are an AI chatbot company. That's what you want to focus on. You don't want to have to uh, wake up at night in a sweat thinking, am I compliant? So let us do that for you. So, so that's where you can become like a services company for these enterprises. So yeah, I think that will be a big use case. So the other thing with AI, there are startups like Harvey AI, which focuses specifically with law firms. So they're like an AI legal expert type of company. There's others that are focused on accounting. So there's going to be all of these specialized niches. Um, and then I think what you mentioned, like environmental protection, will be one of them. It's going to be important. Um, let's see. AI agents. The best way to answer this question, is there a good way to create a simple setup so I can learn what they do and not do without having to go down a rabbit hole? I would start with ChatGPT. Just start there. This, besides ChatGPT and YouTube are almost like the go-tos if you need to know anything. Remember we talked about high agency and being relentlessly resourceful? Just use YouTube plus one of your choice of AI tools, Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, whatever, and just ask it these questions because you'll be able to have a back and forth. And the key is to lock in the memory as well so that it remembers your past conversations so you can reference it. Uh, Another question. Do you have recommendations for some of the free AI tools that you think are powerful? Yeah, some of the ones I mentioned, all of the ones I mentioned, plus those two people, Claire Vo and Peter Yang. Ah, okay. I do have a good resource, a free resource. Let me pull up the link right now. It's called Maven Lightning Lessons. So Maven is a company where instructors can teach courses on. These are paid courses. You don't need to pay for a course right now, but they have these things called lightning lessons where these expert instructors will teach free 30 or 60-minute talks. And if you just go to this website that I put on, a lot of it is about AI. And you'll see different levels, right? Designing with AI, how to interview product managers for AI influency. Let's see, I'm trying to see what else would be. I'm Let's see, the AI Builder Strategy Playbook. So you could take a look at the topic if it's relevant for you, and then you could take a look at the teacher's credibility and history to see if it matches what you're interested in. Like Cursor for product managers, that's very topic specific, right? Um, let's see. I'm just looking at this now because it's kind of fun. Vibe design powered by AI, right? Cracking system design interviews with AI PMs. So there's all this free content. So start with those. Trust me, if you start with YouTube, one of the AI tools, and Maven Lightning lessons, you'll get more than enough. And then all the USC Career Center resources as well. I will say, because I don't see another question yet, but the USC Career Center was pivotal in my uh, early career because out of the 7 internships I had in high school and college, I think 5 were during USC, and all 5 came from the USC Career Center, meaning I used that portal to apply to all of those internships that I got. So use the resources that USC provides you because they work. Let's see. Any other questions? If not, we could end early. I'll give it a minute or so to see if anyone raises.
Hi, Jason.
Hmm.
Thanks for your splendid speech. I have a question. I'm a master student of computer science, so I'm also learning AI, and I want to be a success, like not successful, just I like a normal AI content creator online. So I think you are very successful in this field, and I'm wondering like how efficient and um, like how you are using AI to help you create content and to on LinkedIn or on videos because you say like the two people like expertise, right? They share like videos on YouTube, and I also want to be that guy. So how to use AI, or what like resources can like quickly get the information or like the sense, and how to balance. Because sometimes I'm afraid of that I rely on AI too much, so that I'm afraid like my mind is AI, like it all influenced by AI. So how to like get this balanced and perfect finished. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, good question. When it comes to okay, so Ethan and I, we do not outsource our thinking to AI. I think that's very important. You do not want to do that because then you're going to be replaceable, right? By AI or someone who uses AI better than you. Instead, what how we use AI is as a refinement tool. So, for example, for our content business, we will spend a lot of time upfront drafting the syllabus and curriculum of the course we want to drive or create. And then once we've done that, we will use AI as a thought partner to sharpen it, specifically on pieces such as which sections are we missing from this? So covering our blind spots, or what doesn't make enough sense or is not clear enough, and what parts should we go deeper on, right? So that helps us finesse our content. In terms of LinkedIn writing, usually how I use AI is I'll draft my LinkedIn post first, and then I'll help AI refine it for me. Like a lot of grammatical errors or sentence structuring. Um, the key with AI though, or LinkedIn content writing, is the content that does best for me is when I share how I did this based on my experience. And I can't ask AI to write that for me because they have no idea, right? For example, and some of these, are more sensitive topics, like how did I handle firing someone, or how did I promote someone? The other one was this one was popular. What was it? Oh, a lot of this is about how did I like get executive sponsorship, or how do I manage up to intense, uh, relentless executives above me, right? Um, a big topic is so many people mistake that they can just do hard work, put their head down, and they'll get promoted. It can happen. I've seen it happen, but it's rare. You need to have visibility and you need to communicate and push for your visibility. Otherwise, your manager, your skip, executives may not be aware of what you're doing or why you did something, right? Other tools I like. Okay, so you talked about content creation. Um, there's a few types of newsletters or podcasts about AI that I've seen work really well. One is, I think there's one's called Ben's Bites. I subscribe to it. I put in the chats, Ben's Bites newsletter. And it's basically a rundown of all the latest AI tools and like a little explanation of what it is. It helps me to stay on top of that. Other ones like Peter Yang and Claire Vo, through their podcast, they're showing you live demos and tutorials of how they built it. Like I think one of Peter's podcasts says, okay, starting from scratch, we're gonna build a game in real time, an app, mobile app or a video game in real time with AI right now, using these like 4 or 5 tools in 40 minutes. Let's go. That's really helpful. Um, so I think a lot of people are either looking at the how to build this tutorial content, and then the other is uh, a thoughtful and smart rundown of the latest AI tools so I can stay updated. And then the third piece, which is hard, is the deep point of view. Like, where is this going? Right? Uh, Usually those people tend to be more AI experts with some experience. And they're saying, look, this is what I'm seeing, and this is what I would build right now. Right? Ethan Mollick is good at that. He has a good newsletter. Um, Alad Gill is one of the top investors in the world, and he has a good podcast called No Priors. And his point of view is from the standpoint of a very early stage investor. And what are the companies that he's investing really early on, and why? So he has one of his thesis is some of these specialized niche AIs like Harvey AI, which specializes in law or legal firms, will be big winners because of XYZ reasons, right? Um, So that's what I would do. But the key is if you're going to go into content creation for that, be very clear on what you're going to talk about so people know whether to follow you or subscribe, and then have a very clear point of view. Like it's something unique. You can if you say what everyone else is saying, there's no point to subscribe. So either tie it in with an expertise that you have, tie it in with experience that you've had, or tie it in with what you think is going to happen, right? So that's what I would do.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you so
yeah,
much.
no problem. Which USC portal did I use to apply for the internship? At that time, in 2008, 9, and 10, I think it was just called USC Career Center. I think there was only one portal. And if there was not, I only used one portal. So whatever that portal is. But basically, I was able to filter by the types of internships, like full-time, summer, part-time, paid, unpaid, and by sector. Um, that was big. You will get the video recording. I will send it to USC and USC will ship it out to you. Okay, let's see. If you were just starting out in your career in this era, what's your first few steps or game plan for the first few years? What skills am I focused on? And are you more networking centric and or networking centric? Okay. If I was a USC student right now, knowing everything I know now, what would I do? I definitely have thoughts on this. My wife is a USC alumni as well, but she graduated from the gerontology school, so very different. She's not in tech. There are okay. The best way to grow your network is to be in a high growth environment where everyone is growing because you're all going to win together. You're less competitive together. And when you make those networks, all your peers, you fast forward 10, 20 years, they're probably going to be executives or builders or founders later on or investors. So, what does this mean? If this was me, I'm only going to speak for myself because I can't speak for all the 30 plus people here. I would go and build an AI and move to San Francisco because it's the capital of AI. You have the big companies building, you have the founders and startups building, and you have all the venture capital there. So you want to be in that ecosystem basically 24/7, 7 days a week, meeting people, finding your potential co-founder, getting in with the AI startup or getting in with a bigger company, but being on the AI team. I would get as close to the important AI product as possible, the one that impacts the critical customers and has a direct line of sight to the business drivers that impact the P&L. Um, and if you can get on a rocket ship high growth AI company that is uh, pre-public, Series C or later, and is just in hyper growth scale mode, jump on, don't, and whatever role they give you, just take it and do the best you can. Wear as many hats as you can, raise your hand and volunteer. You're probably going to work a lot. When the first when I my rapid early career I worked there were times where I just worked a lot where my career came first, but that's what I would do. And this applies to any major, any role, technical, non-technical. I am seeing product people do this, operational, marketing, design, engineers, ops, writing. I have a friend who this person is an English major, but they became the head marketer at one of the top AI companies. Now they're more senior in their career, so they kind of built it up. But don't be pigeonholed to your major. Just raise your hand, add value, and be a team player and build positive relationships with people and just grow. That's what I would do. Pretty clear. I still get FOMO a little bit. I live in Honolulu right now with my family. I have almost a 4-year-old daughter. Um, But do I get a little FOMO not being in San Francisco? Yeah, I'll be honest, for sure. There's a lot happening there. I'm trying to think what else would I do? Yeah, that's what I would do. And oh, here's the other thing, um, it's going to be competitive in San Francisco because a lot of people are doing it, but you could do this anywhere. If you want a career in AI or whatever field it is, remember we talked about soft skills are very powerful. Okay. You brought up a good point. Some of my smartest friends, the one who had extreme rapid career growth, the one who were very young executives or founders who have raised many millions of dollars. They're largely focused on two spectrums right now. Spectrum one is full hardcore AI native companies. The second spectrum is on the other end, anti-AI companies, where some of them are building uh, their thesis is in this age of AI, which will come, human connections and communities will be more important, will be more meaningful, and will thus explode. So if you look into this, what does this mean? It means human communities, live sports will be huge. And anything in person, networking groups, like-minded community groups, anything of that sort. So they're building in that. I have a friend, he was at Google, left Google, went to Facebook, was a top performer. He's young, he's in his 20s still, I think mid or late 20s. Left Google to start an events business. He lives in New York City. His name's Andrew Young. Business Insider called him the Great Gatsby of Silicon Alley because he throws the hottest tech parties. And I remember I met him during COVID virtually in a group of four people when he just started. And his first meetup had one other person in it in New York City. And now he's throwing huge conferences, he's selling out. It's a big business. He's built a pretty big team now, and he's meeting people who he thought he wouldn't meet before. So that's what he's doing. He's doing live events businesses. So the key is pick one of those spectrums and go into it. Uh, oh, so this is what I was saying. If you're not in SF, it's okay. You might be in Los Angeles near USC. Run these events. Remember, there's a difference between if you are attending an event, if you are volunteering at an event, or if you're hosting, moderating, or leading an event, right? And right now, there's no one stopping you on leading AI builder events or AI knowledge sharing events or whatever, book clubs or anything like that, right? Um, but the key is just to get started. So that's what I would start doing. I'm trying to think what else. What else have I seen work really well? Oh yeah, some people throw like weekly dinners with like-minded people, either for like founders and CEOs or investors or just AI builders, whatever. But yeah, that's what I would do. Let's see. Oh, another question came in. Do you have any recommendations of the resources for AI related industry event that we could attend in LA or California? California is broad because that includes SF, and I don't think there's a lack of resources or events there. Um, LA, I'm not sure. Ah, okay, I do have one, but you're not gonna like this because it was started by two guys from UCLA. They reached out to me. They started a newsletter about spotlighting startups that were doing interesting things. And then they've pivoted their newsletter to focus now on, they still do that, but now they throw a lot of live events. It's called the Unicorner. So think about this. I remember I met these two guys, Ethan and Arik. Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. I met them when they were still in college at UCLA. But think about this. Remember, they reached out because I had a newsletter, I was writing all this content, and they did as well. And they reached out. There's a difference between if you reach out to a busy person and say, "Hey, can you help me do this? Blah blah blah. Can I pick your brain? Can I get coffee?" It's like, well, I don't really know. Like, it might be a waste of time for me. Versus, hey, we have this popular newsletter. It reaches, I don't know, at that time maybe 5 or 10,000 people, and we love to do a collaboration with you. If I get that kind of email, I'm like, oh yeah, probably worth it, right? So that's what they started with, and I believe it's in LA because they're from UCLA. So I have to imagine that's what they're doing. So check out some of their events. Um, Start there. And here's the other thing. If there are no events, then that's your opportunity. Remember, if you want something and you can't find it or you don't know where it is, chances are other people are thinking the exact same thing as you. So just start it. Just like my friend Andrew. He just started these meetups in New York City because he was new to the city and he wanted to meet people and expand his network. And then he just became the person who throws great events. So do that. Let me think. Hmm. Other AI stuff. What have I seen? Yeah, I would start that. That's more than enough. So usually what people get is information overload. There's a lot of information out there. You don't need that much. The most important thing is just to pick what information you believe is relevant and important to you, and then just take action. Just take some small step. Go to that event, set up that newsletter, write something, invite to meet someone. Just take action. Okay, another hand raise. Aryan?
Hi, yes. Thank you for meeting with us, Jason.
Yeah.
I was just wondering about prompt engineering because I remember when a lot of these tools were becoming available to the general public, prompt engineering was like the number one thing on every social media. Like if you're not prompt engineering, or learning how to prompt engineer properly, that's what separates you from the truly great um, people in the sector. But now I'm I'm in financial engineering, and I have a lot of colleagues and friends who, I think we all believe that the best way to interact with a lot of these tools is through math. I was wondering if what your thoughts are on that, and if you think that's a marketable thing to technical and non-technical roles.
Tell me more. What do you mean by interact with them through math?
Well, for example, I have a professor. He does a lot of research, actually at USC. And if you just use plain English and you try to optimize your speech to give it instructions, a lot of these language models will hallucinate regardless. They're doing their best. It's a great technology, but you could be a lot more efficient if you actually implement code.
Hmm.
And a lot of that code has a math framework that you do have to spend a lot of time to study. But now he says that he gets like 99% of the time exactly what he wants. And he wrote 400 lines of code, but it's improved his work like 25x, he says.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
just one case, but
If you could go that route, I would do it for now until it gets so good where you could just use plain English or whatever language, right? Um, but if you have that ability, use it. I have a friend, he's a retired tech VP. He's older, but he built a AI app within 40 hours. It still took him 40 hours. And I think he said 2,500 lines of code. But he said if he didn't have AI, it probably would have taken him like 3 or 4 months. So 40 hours is still a lot, but it's much better than 3 or 4 months. So if you have that, then use those tools to go faster. If you don't have that and you're non-technical, then you might not need to develop that skill because AI seems to be going the path where you can just speak plain English to it. Um, so I would, instead of trying to learn that, I would just start building. But yeah, if you have that skill, do it.
thank you.
Yeah, no problem. You know, the thing, so prompt engineering, hotly debated topic right now. It was very hot. There was a while ago, like maybe a year ago, where everyone's like, oh, that's a new job, prompt engineering. It doesn't seem like that's the case because everyone, regardless of your job, needs to be a prompt engineer. It doesn't matter what your function is, what your scenario is, what domain you're in, you need to learn how to talk to AI. So, as a siloed job function where that's all you do, probably not the best path. They'll probably be deprecated, right? It'll just go back to look, it's just a line item on the roles and requirement for the job description. Um, Okay, we have another question here. During these events, how can we connect, socialize with others? Okay, you know what? I will share. So, this guy, Andrew Young, I did a talk with him, free talk, about how to be a high value connector and networker. And I will just share that right here because it's free and you could just take our tidbits. Um, how do you do it? Be someone super interesting. Okay, so ask questions. Go up to people and say, have your one liner. Hey, my name is Jason. I do X, Y, Z. Super short. Tell me about yourself. What are you working on? Now, the key is you want to go in with thoughtful and also somewhat peculiar questions so that you're a little bit more memorable. So for example, sometimes instead of saying asking someone, "How are you doing?" I will ask someone, "How are you sleeping?" Because number one, they don't really hear that, so they're like, "What are you talking about?" And number two, sometimes you get more because what most people will say is really two responses. "I'm sleeping great because of," and they'll sometimes excitedly share their routine or something else that they found. Or a lot of people will say, "I'm not sleeping that well because I'm stressed about XYZ." Well, you just got something interesting, and then you build on that, right? So the key is to be very clear on what who you are. So have your one intro on what you're building to make you an exciting person. It could be like it could be what major you are, what you've built, what you're going to do next, maybe a book that you just read, maybe something you've written, but something interesting that ties with your goals as well. And then ask other people questions. Um, the other one is, oh, here's another good question. Andrew asks this a lot. What is on your roadmap for the next 6 months? And then this way, now you can find out, is there a way that you could help them? Because if you ask that, let's say you ask me that, I could say, oh, well, we're looking to find someone to help us with our YouTube and podcast channel. Okay, maybe you know someone or maybe you're interested in that. Or I could say, oh, we're looking to host more virtual meetups for our members. Maybe there's something there. So you see where I'm going? You're opening up information from people in an interesting and unique and authentic way. Um, what you don't want to do is just ask people for things. Help me. It's all about me. Help me. You don't know about me. I've never done anything for you to help you, but I want you to help me. Don't be that person because everyone's thinking in a networking event, who are you and what have you done for our community or to help more people, right? This is the other one. When you read that article from Andrew, here's number three. Here, if you really want to cut through, whoever asked this question, if you really want to cut through and stand out, don't just go to the room, create the room. That's what we mean by Andrew starting these events. Because if you're the one who's hosting these events or moderating, people are going to naturally see you as the leader. So they're going to come up to you and say, hey, Emma, you know, hey, Melissa, hey, Ashley, hey, Barbara, thanks for putting on this great event. When's the next event? Do you need help? What are you planning next? Things like that. Or someone might say, "Oh, I have a friend and they're a founder of this company." Or my aunt or uncle works at this company. I think they would be a great speaker. That's how you build a network, right? Hi, Riley. Hi, Nikhil. Hey, Sean, thanks for putting this great event. Can I help you on the next one? That's how you do it. Um, Oh, I'm just reading my article with Andrew. So I wrote these takeaways from our talk. So I'm just reflecting in my takeaways. But I wrote, become a magnet for the type of people you want to attract. So if you want to get into PR marketing for movies, throw events about that topic because the people who are going to attend are going to be people interested in that, right? And remember, this is how you get on the radar of executives or other people that you want. Rather than saying, look at the difference between this. I'm just going to pick some names. I'm the student in this case. Hey, Sonny, my name's Jason. I'm a college student. You're a big time movie director. Can I pick your brain for 30 minutes and get coffee? 99.9% they're not going to respond or say no. They'll say no. Versus, um, let's see. Hey, Mindy, my name's Jason. I'm a USC student, blah, blah, blah. I run the USC Movie Directors, Aspiring Directors Club. We have 45 members. We host weekly events. Would you, we would love to have you speak for 15 minutes on these two topics. Would you like to come? Much higher chance. And if this busy person can't make it, they might say, you know what? This is so great. I love that you're helping aspiring movie directors. Um, I can't make it because I'm going to be in Portugal filming my movie, but my so and so friend or assistant or whatever can make it. Are you okay if they proxy for me? And you're like, yeah. So, that's how you do it. Um, I wish I did this much earlier in my career. I will say, since there are some of you still left here, one of the best things I did in my career was I was a assistant media planner, digital media planner, so under like 3 years of my career. One of the VPs was a advisory board member for a nonprofit of the industry for marketing and advertising in Los Angeles. And she would throw on these events and she would ask for volunteers. Um, I volunteered, to check in people, to arrive early, to help, with whatever. Um, you volunteer, you show up, you deliver, you go early, you meet people, you talk to people, blah, blah, all this stuff. You do that more times. Then you start to be proactive and you say, oh, hey, here's a one pager on what I think worked really well, and then two or three things I think we could do better next time. And here's the kicker. I will do those two or three things. Social media marketing, whatever, outreach to these sponsors, blah, blah. Once you build up the credibility, you know what her response was to me, this executive? She said, good one pager. Come to our board meeting this Thursday, 7 a.m., and present it. And for me, it was about a 1 hour drive in traffic in LA. But I just did it. I had to wake up at like 5:30, drive out the door at 6, get there, a little, I want to get there a little early, and I presented it. And then they liked it. And then I led it and I showed results. And she said, come back to the next one. And so I kept doing that. And then sooner or later, I just kept attending every board meeting on the Thursdays. And then I was invited to be a chair of events, co-chairs, blah, blah, blah. And then I proposed my own event where we got some big time speakers. That's how I met my friend Alexis Ohanian, co-founder of Reddit. He spoke at one of my events. Then we became friends. And he came up and spoke at Amazon with me, which is, you can find the talk on YouTube. Um, that's how you do it. Uh, okay. So this also turned into like a networking kind of talk, which ties to the soft skills. Okay, I know we're out of time. If there's no more questions, I will end it. But seriously, read the stuff with Andrew because he's closer to your age than I am, and he has done all this in the past, what, it's 2026, past 3, 4 years, and it's completely changed his life. Yeah. So just do it. And here's the thing, connect with me on LinkedIn and then close the loop. Keep me updated on your progress. I want to hear about your breakthroughs. I get a lot of updates throughout the week, throughout the year about people getting promoted, people landing new jobs. A lot of past interns who have heard some of these talks, they landed full-time roles in FANG companies, big tech, real estate companies, VC firms, whatever, and they said it worked. Um, so keep me updated. And yeah. Oh, and I should say, last one, fight on and keep raising the bar. Okay, thanks everyone. I'm serious about connecting with me on LinkedIn. I'm always on LinkedIn. That's my social media. So keep me updated, okay? All right, see ya.